This week on the podcast, it's just us boys. Green tells us whether or not Marvel's The Avengers is actually good. We have a whole list of gaming events coming this month, so get ready to mark your calendars. Legit, just get your planners ready, guys. And of course, first show of the month, so we have deals of the month. All of that and more in this week's episode of Next to Nothing. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Danny K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. Green, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I made some tasty ramen for dinner, and I've never been more appeased in my life. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Danny, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right, although my phone keeps falling over. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, I'm doing pretty all right. I cannot complain. And even if I did, who would listen, right? Yuck, 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 yuck. With us, 99.9% of the time, it's the powerful, the beautiful, the Revsfen. Padre, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's starting to come back, isn't it? It's like it's making its way back into the fold. I've missed it. I've missed it. Also, I have a picture of a three-testicled salmon pole dancing that I drew last night. So there's that. It's been a fantastic 24 hours.
Sounds like a party.
It is, yeah. Well, the three-testicle salmon will actually play a part in this show at some point. So get ready.
Yes. Well, before we get into all the housekeeping, there's two things we want to say. First off, happy Pride to any of those who partake. Is that the right way to say that?
Just to the entire LGBTQ community as a whole. Yeah.
Those as I say, for those who believe in pride.
For one of the 7 deadly sins, right?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, it's kind of like it's like, oh yeah, if you believe in Christmas, yeah, if you believe in Pride. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. Happy Pride to all of our LGBTQ friends. I know everybody in the show stands with you as allies, and I think I'll make a statement on this. I think that it's awesome to celebrate, because the world needs to be needs more work done to kind of, there's more education that needs to happen, and there's more work that needs to be done, and that's what I think this month kind of embodies.
Love and acceptance.
Also, I think all three of us are willing to punch a bigot for our friends. So,
oh, absolutely, I'll fucking deck a bitch.
Yeah, I spent most of last night shooting Nazis, and I found out that's my new kink, so yeah, I'm with it.
Also, happy birthday to the podcast historian, Chocolade. Our boy turns 25 today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthmas.
Happy birthmas.
Happy birthmas.
Happy Chrysler.
God damn it. So we appreciate you guys for watching and listening. If this is your first time with us, we hope you guys enjoy and get some value out of the show. If you miss any part of this podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I usually don't say this, but if you guys are on those platforms and you guys want to join us live, we are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/DannyK, DANIECAE. Each week we have a question of the week. This week, I forgot to ask the question, guys. What do we want the question of the week to be this week?
What's your favorite scary movie? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, what's your favorite horror genre? Like, is it slasher films?
Slashers.
Paranormal. The Hills Have Eyes. The grotesque body horror. What's your favorite horror movie? Or what's your favorite horror genre?
Yeah. That works. Guys, tell us in the comments in the YouTube video. You guys can also tweet at us. You can tweet at me at Danny K, DANIECAE on Twitter. Let us know your favorite horror genre. Slashers, paranormal. What would you consider Saw? Like torture porn?
I believe that would be technically body horror.
Yeah, it kind of goes in between body horror and torture porn. Like, it's like a mixture of those. Like, gore porn is another term that people use for it.
See, like, I don't like horror movies. Like, I can't stand horror movies, but I will watch a good slasher.
Yeah,
like Scream, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. A good slasher movie. Like, from time to time, just hits all the right spots.
Yeah. So go on ahead and let us know. Moving from slashers to superheroes, Green, you have Marvel's Avengers to talk about.
Yeah. So Marvel's Avengers was put on sale earlier last week. And then I believe it's going until June 3rd. I think 40 I think I looked at it, was 40 hours from now, 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. For $23.99. Also I think I picked up my copy from Humble Bundle. Picked up an extra copy from Humble Bundle. We are a Humble Bundle affiliate. Just to be transparent. But yeah, it's on sale, 40% off right now until June 3rd. So if you're watching this after June 3rd, you're gonna miss that 40% off. I'm sorry, I love you. But the game, its basic premise: you're playing as superheroes. I'm playing through the storyline. I'm almost done with part 3 of like the actual storyline segment. You get your basic controls. You each character has their own a unique set of skills. The story follows a character that's fairly new to the comics. Her name is Kamala Khan. She's a Muslim American character. She is a what's called an inhuman. And these people are exposed to Terrigen mist, which gives them they get encased in like a cocoon, and then when they come out of this cocoon, they have certain powers, or they've been changed. It's almost like Marvel's and like changed to mutants, like because Fox bought the rights to like the whole mutant X-Men franchise. So this was like their answer when they pushed the Inhumans a lot. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of Easter eggs in this game if you're used to like the comics and or movies. As I said, each character has their own like special, unique ability trait, and different play styles. You progress through the storyline, fantastic storyline. I've been really enjoying it. Game is beautiful. Definitely worth like the actual sale price. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet. I guess there's like missions that you can select that you can play with friends or go online and like matchmake. When I was playing it, I didn't try to matchmake, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's really difficult to get into like an online matchmaking mission just because there's not a lot of people playing this game. But yeah, the actual concept of the game was fun. The story was great. I really enjoyed like playing each character. I love playing as Thor because Thor, you could like chuck his hammer and bring it back. It's fucking awesome. I was giddy. I was like a little child like playing this game. My biggest like there were some cons. Some of the movement was kind of janky at certain points, which was not hugely noticeable. My biggest thing was like details. So there was some points when like if a character had like a beard at a cutscene, like you could see through the beard to their jawline, um, which like isn't like huge, but for a AAA game like that was made by Square Enix, this is not like something I would see coming from the studio, and it happened more frequently. It's just something that really bothered me. It wasn't like it affected the game whatsoever. It just felt off, and it kind of freaked me out. But other than that, it was a really fun game. I like playing as each of the characters. You can when you go into these missions that you can select who you want to play as and who you want your companions to be in the game. When you're doing the story missions, I don't think you can select who you want to like come into your team when you're doing missions online. I think it's up to 4 players total if you and a few friends pick up this game and play it. As I said, I had no problems running it, but some PCs might not be able to handle like this game. It is a full AAA title. I think the minimum specs are 64-bit processor, Windows 10, processors i3 4160 or AMD equivalent. You have to have 8 gigabytes RAM, NVIDIA GTX 950 or an AMD 270 with a minimum of 2 gigs of VRAM, and then DirectX 12. So a lot of like older GPUs don't have DirectX 12; they have DirectX 11, and you need 75 gigs of storage space. So it's a pretty chunky game. You definitely can't run this on a potato, but it is very fun to play. I didn't have any massive upsets about it, other than like tiny things here and there. Yeah, it was definitely worth the pickup, especially with 40% off right now.
Yeah, so I was actually just doing some quick reading here. According to SteamDB, the lowest price record is $23.99. That's a 40% discount, and it's gone on sale twice so far since it's been released. The last was this current sale that you can get it on for Steam, and the first was April 22nd. So not really all that too long ago. So it looks like it might be. This is a live service game, so I could see them putting this on sale every few months just to get more people in. I did see when I did go for a quick Google search on the game that there is a 1.38 patch notes coming out. So yeah, it looks like it's a game that they are. It is a live service that they are actively working on right now, which means more content probably in the future.
Yeah, I can definitely see room for more content. Like the biggest thing with the game, like the DLCs were free. Like you don't have to pay for the extra DLCs. So like part 2 I didn't have to pay for, and part 3 I didn't have to pay for. Part 2 I probably wouldn't have paid for anyways, because it was very short. It was a few missions and then led right into part 3. But DLCs are free, which I like when a game does that. Even though you're not like getting the full game like as intended right off the bat, they're giving you that stuff for free as they make the storyline, because the main mission itself was long. It felt like it was worth the money, even for without 40% off. It still felt like it was worth that amount, just in the main campaign.
Yeah,
for me, anyways.
gotcha. So I do have some questions just about like you as a comic fan. Like how did this game meet your standards for the Marvel universe, or lack thereof?
I thought it did really well. I mean, it was there's nothing that was off that I could tell, like as per like the story, like and like the characters, each character. I loved the fact that they centered the first campaign off of Kamala, because that is a character that like I feel is a great I don't want to say it, like I like a great standard of like characters that like can be moved into the forefront. She's female, young, Muslim American, and she's been given these extraordinary powers that she essentially is like almost like Mr. Fantastic. She makes herself bigger. She's almost like rubbery. So I like that they pushed a character that's not super well known into like the actual forefront of the game, versus like just picking Iron Man to be like the main character, or Captain America. Like
You'd say that she's a good role model for like the underrepresented communities
absolutely
out there that
absolutely.
But they did it in
100%.
such a way that it made sense, like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which is always good.
Yeah,
Makes
they
sense.
definitely did. Like they did change. Like they made their own story for like how the Terrigen became a thing, which is I'm okay with. Not everything has to be exactly the same as like the comic book counterpart. Like especially like the movies and video games that we've had before. Like they're not exactly representative, or straightly pulled from the comics. They have their own leniency and their own creative flow that makes sense to that movie or to that game. So I liked that they made the story work, and it worked really well.
Gotcha. I don't know. I don't think I have any other thoughts or questions on Marvel's Avengers. Rev?
No, yeah, no, I've seen some people play it in the past, and I've noticed that there were some people that had those same gripes about like the graphics, or like the kind of glitching or under rendered type things here and there for a AAA title, and but all in all, like it seems like whenever you look at the game as it's been received through, say, like people on social media, it's got very mixed reviews, but it's not like an absolute dive bomb on the negative side. So it's like positive to mixed, and so like that in and of itself gives me like kind of motivation, at least want to give it a try, especially if it's on sale.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that there was like a huge, like I didn't see any like other visual issues
And
other
those things
than the
may have
hair
been
thing.
patched. Those may
Yeah.
and those others
So
may have been patched because it's been out for a while, right? Like it's
yeah,
been.
it's been out for a minute. I think it came out. Let me double check. I don't want to say
I
the
want
wrong
to.
thing.
I'm going to. I think it came out pre-quarantine.
September 4th, 2020.
Oh, really? So it
Yeah,
is still actually relatively recent. Okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I definitely, for me, I would say it's definitely a pickup, especially with it being on sale. If you don't get in by the time it's off of sale, I would definitely, uh, I would pay full price for it. Because it's not the full $60 anymore. I think it's like, uh, what's the full price here? Trying to find it here.
How much is it
Uh,
right now?
it's $23.99, so $39.99, full price, which is not bad for a
No, that's not
AAA
bad.
for a AAA game that came out late last year or Q4 last year. I think it's, I mean, that's a good price for it.
Yeah. Anything else on this?
No, sir.
No more to say.
I say no. More.
That was better than what I got.
That means it's my turn.
Yeah.
That means it's my turn to talk about. I'm talking about a ridiculously goofy game called Say No More. So I'm going to start this by summarizing it in the easiest way possible. Imagine the movie Yes Man in reverse. Like this. So this game takes place in a world where essentially the word no has been forbidden, and you play an intern at a new company, and you're being trampled all over and stuff like that. And at first, like whenever you go to try to respond to stuff, you're just like, and you can't even form like coherent words, and you get to fully customize your character. Which one of the hilarious things is you can actually pick how to say no from like God, I think it was like over a dozen languages. I settled on Irish Gaelic, which I believe is pronounced Nianime. And so I was walking around telling everybody Nianime, and instead of no, but it's literally like there is actually a deeper message hidden within that I'm not gonna spoil because I actually do recommend this game for as silly as it is because like right now it's only $10. I think full price is like 14 or something. I don't know what happens if you don't say no because there's a timer on it, and if you don't say no, things could possibly change. But it revolves around your character getting his lunchbox stolen, and then by a boss, and you're telling everybody no. Like people are like, "Hey, get me a coffee," and turn like the anime. And like you get different ways to say no. You can get the angry, the heated, the cold no, the lazy no, and the wacky no. And then you also get little gestures you can do to restore energy to make more powerful no's when you charge them up. Like ones where you can sit there and laugh in people's faces and sit there and sarcastically nod at them, or pretend like you're thinking, or just sarcastically slow clap for them. Like it's hilarious. But there is actually like there's a deeper meaning to the whole game, and it ends up actually having a really good message at the end. It's a really short playthrough. I think it took me like not even 2 hours to go through my first time. But like I said, I don't know if you don't say no a few times, if it actually alters your outcome. But I would say for $10, it's worth a pickup. Like it's super simple. You can run it on a potato. Specs here, minimum requirements are Windows 10. What is that? Yeah, just like a what is that 2.5 gigahertz dual core processor, 4 gigs RAM. And well, this may be kind of chunky. A GeForce GT 540 or Radeon HD 5570 graphics card, and 2 gigs of storage space. The animation is hilarious. The conversations are hysterical. Even though the only words you say, the only word you say the whole game is no, and then mumbles. But the way you learn to say no is what really gets me. You find a tape player with a tape in it that just says no, and you put the headphones on, and this big, like, kind of Hulk Hogan looking 80s style motivational speaker dude just like pops up. It starts teaching you how to do these different versions of no. Dude, it's so funny. It was like I was cracking up the whole time playing it, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants just like a short little goofy romp. There's not really it's almost more like an interactive video, like, or movie, than it is an actual game, because you don't control your characters walking. They follow a set path for you, and then you just say no to people who get in your way. Like, somebody will just step out and just be like, I need you to file these papers, intern. No. And then they'll just like fly back like, I'm a piece of crap or something. It's like, what the hell? You know, it's hysterical. So if you really want a good laugh out of a video game, this one's perfect for $10, which is what it's on sale for now, $10.04.
Yeah. It'll be on sale until June 7th, and I checked, according to Steam DB, that is the lowest price on record. And it was last
It
on
did just
sale.
come out. It did just come out in April, so it's only been out for like a month and a half, or almost. Oh no, almost 2 months. Almost 2 months. But
Yeah, it's already gone on sale twice then, because well, no, I guess May 31st it would be this week. Never mind.
Yeah. Now I will give full disclosure. I was provided a key for this game. I did not purchase this game myself. I was provided a key thanks to Inception Talent Agency and the people over at Studio Fizbin. And Thunderful Publishing, the people in charge of developing and publishing the game. So I do want to keep full transparency by disclosing that I was given a copy of this game as opposed to purchasing it myself. But I would say for the $14.99 it's worth it, but for the $10.04 that it currently is now on Steam, it's really well worth it because it is hysterical.
Yeah, it's also available for the Nintendo Switch and Mac OS if anyone was interested in those, getting on those platforms.
Not surprised that it's on Switch. This definitely feels like one of those games you would find on Switch.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it's on Mac, to be honest.
That one does shock me a little bit. Now I will say, the majority of the voiceover acting sounded like it may have been in French. I don't know where Studio Fizbin is, but the accents sounded like they may have been like French or European of some degree. And I don't know if that just holds more water with Mac OS, because I've noticed that a lot of games that I play that are made over in Europe actually do run on Mac OS as well.
Looks like Germany.
Germany, okay, that's where it is. Yeah, I knew they had some kind of, like, a lot of them had European accents to some degree. There were different ones, and there were some people in there with American accents, but yeah, you could tell it was definitely made in Europe somewhere.
Gotcha. So, anything else on this game?
No, it's pretty short, sweet, and to the point on that, because there's not a whole lot that's out of the ordinary about it. It's just, like I said, the animation and the conversational parts are hilarious. The game itself is hilarious. It's just a really funny little kind of like romp through a virtual world.
Yeah. So is it fair to say we can go from 9 to 9 witches?
Absolutely. Speaking of that, bro, okay, so it's funny. Okay, I played both of these games I played them both last night. I did not finish 9 Witches yet. I can't wait to, because of how much I am loving this game. But after playing Say No More and going into this, for some reason in this game, I'm going to go ahead and say it, there are a shitload of references to the number 9. And so I made a whole lot of like, so none. So there's like this one who's like, the first person to find the traitor gets 9 bottles of wine and leftover cheese from my lunch or something like that. And I was like, so they get no wine. Yeah, and I have a little like, but sound effect, and I would hit that. You know, and it ended up getting to the point where I had to stop using that just because it made so many references to the number 9. But yeah, so 9 Witches Family Disruption. This game is a sleeper. It got nominated at IndieCade 2020 for a few different awards, but I don't understand how this game, it hasn't gotten more traction as like maybe one of those like kind of indie cult following type games, because it is amazingly fun. It takes place. Okay, so you play as a combination of I believe he's German. His name definitely seems German. I can't remember what his name is. But he's like an old professor that's versed in the occult practices, and so he can actually like project, do astral projection, speak to ghosts and stuff. And your little, you have a little Japanese sidekick named Akiro, who is blonde. But you're in 1944 Germany. Well, actually, the game takes place in Norway, but you're fighting Nazis. In Norway, there was this lead witch and 8 other witches that were basically captured by the Nazis and made to perform this occult ritual to try to block out the moon, but it's contained to just this one area. And whenever the ritual is fully completed, there's going to be some kind of disaster, and you're in charge of trying to take them down. Now, that sounds like a very serious plot line. I would like to throw in that at one point, for no fucking reason whatsoever, the entire cast of Happy Days shows up in the background. There's a reference to the Bee Gees, which, for those of you who don't know, did not exist in World War II. And there's an old man who, whenever you turn your back on him, his lightsaber or his cane turns into a lightsaber for a brief second, and your characters turn around and it disappears, and they're like, "What was that noise?" And he's like, "Nothing," and walks away. So like, there's all these like random references in this game that are hilarious, and lots of really funny dialogue too. It's very like there. You have a term for it, Danny. I don't remember what it is, but where like you have something you have to do, but then you get a subquest that you have to complete to get to that point, but then you get a subquest that you have to get to complete to that point, and then I mean it ends up like laddering down where you have to do like one thing to get to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. It almost like works backwards. And it's kind of frustrating at points because I'm stupid. I'm horrible at puzzles, so I'm kind of dumb. Aside from that, it's a lot of fun. The kind of like Say No More, its dialogue's really, really clever. But this game is got like a lengthy, like I think I spent 4 hours on it last night, and I'm barely halfway through. I think there's this one, you go into a bar, and it's called the Aryan Barrel, and there's a poster for like there's a whole festival going to be going on involving this organization called Occult 55 that works for the Nazis, and you're trying to infiltrate that so you can stop this ritual from happening. And there's a fucking poster of a DJ. Again, I'm going to remind you, 1944. There's a poster advertising Eclipse Fest, and it's got a Nazi DJ with record like turntables and everything. And at this bar where you first find this poster, there's a machine where if you take books and throw them in there and they burn them, you get coins for it, and you have to do that in order to pay for things. And it's just like some of the references are like hysterical in kind of like a pushing the envelope fashion, because you're like, oh, really, we have to burn books, but they like put a comedic twist on it. And I don't know, man, it's so funny. And there's this like one scene where you're sitting there, you're trying to get this, you're talking to one of the German officers in the bar, and he just like leans in and he goes, "Psst, is my penis inside or outside of my pants?" And you just go, "Inside." He goes, "That's a shame because I'm pissing myself right now." And you just see this puddle underneath. Like, it's so silly, but there's kind of this really deep narrative to it, and it's really interesting. I really think this game needs more recognition. I've had it in my library for a while because I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting," because it's got a similar aesthetic. It's got a very pixelated aesthetic. In which they actually reference, you come across this guy with one arm and you ask him like, "What happened to your arm?" I think Green was there for that, weren't you?
Yeah, the Photoshop thing.
Yeah, it's like
Photoshop.
Lost it in Photoshop, and it's like, "Well, what's 4 missing pixels?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, excuse me? And then there's one, you go into a shop and you ask the shopkeep, you can ask him, "Do you have anything interesting for sale?" And he comes out with this book that says 9 Witches Family Disruption Playthrough Guide on it for 1 coin. And I'm like, "Yes, can I buy that, please?" It's like, "Why would I need that?" I'm like, "No, buy the book." Like, we need this book. It's just like, it's very self-aware in like within the story of what it is, and it's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to finish it. Like, I'm so excited to dive back into it tomorrow. It's good.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like, it's also, it's like an Intel i5 quad core processor, 1 gig RAM, an Intel HD 4000 graphics card, and 2 gigs of space. You have to have Windows 7 to run it. And this just came out last year, December last year.
Yeah.
And you could tell it's going to be pretty like self-aware whenever you read the description, because like it just says, when an occult German World War II division releases an ancient curse upon the world, a supernatural problem is going to require a supernatural solution. Take control of 2 playable heroes, because you do get to go back and forth between the little Akiro and then the professor. It's take control of 2 playable heroes as they embark on a comedic alternate history adventure with a truly original story, and then in parentheses it says 99.9999% guaranteed.
Yeah, it's very
hysterical.
It's very cute.
Oh yeah, dude, and it is so. I didn't expect it to be near as funny as it is. Like, that's what gets me. Like, I didn't expect it to be that funny.
Yeah.
Like you go to now that granted there are moments where it does get dark. Like you end up in a church and there's this nun there, and you kind of come to find out the nun is off a rocker and the priest hung himself because like the entire congregation was killed in a firebomb by the Nazis. And all that was left was this one nun and this one priest, and she like was so traumatized by it that she is living as though they're all still there. And it's just like, damn, you know. So there's like some moments where it's almost like Bo Burnham's new special. There are moments where it's hysterical, and there are moments that you're like, fuck, I might cry, you know, like damn.
I have not seen Bo Burnham's special yet.
Highly recommend. It's deep though.
Yeah. I was gonna watch it last night, but we ended up falling asleep really early. It is available for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Anyone that was curious about where they could pick it up, I did take a quick look. It is currently $20 in Steam, but the lowest recorded price was $11.99, a 40% discount on Steam, and that was last on sale May 24th of this year. Let's see if I can figure out how often it goes on sale. It's gone on sale 3 or 4 times in the last year since its release.
Yeah, and like I said, it just came out. It just came out in December, so it's been out for right at 7 months because it was December 4th that it came out.
I have
Steam.
on Steam. I was gonna say
Yes, on Steam. I'm looking at the actual Steam page for it, and that so it may have come out on a different time on different platforms, but yeah, on Steam it was December 4th of 2020.
Gotcha.
Now, I will say, if you're going to pick it up, $20. I feel at this point, just where I've made it to in the game so far, well worth it. Well worth $20. But let's not sit here and pretend like we don't have the Steam Summer Sale coming up pretty soon. So why not just hang on for a little bit? Yeah, just hang out for a little bit, see what it does.
Yeah.
But I would say $20 is worth it if it doesn't get like a huge sale. Whatever it goes on will be worth it.
Excellent. Anything else on Nine Witches Family Disruption?
9.
Ha!
But
All right. Well, I feel like we should take a break because we've got a lot to talk about coming up.
Let's do it to it.
Let's do it. Guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Be right back.
Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roast Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, Grampian, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase.
And we're back. Thank you guys for letting us take that break. Much appreciated. We have Green. Ready to get in your corner?
I'm ready to get in my corner.
All right, I'm going to play the effect. Don't talk over it.
Green's Tech Corner.
All right, Green, we got some news from Intel and AMD. Lead us into it.
I fucking love that effect. We have a few announcements, actually. AMD was at Computex 2021. AMD announced the Radeon RX 6000M GPUs, which is a mobile graphics card line aimed to compete with the NVIDIA and laptop graphics. They're built off the RDNA 2 architecture and will be toting what they call Fidelity FX, which is AMD's approach to like their DLSS AI technology. If anyone has not seen DLSS in like their NVIDIA processing, it's essentially a way to smooth out your graphics and get better frames while playing games. So I'm interested to see how that works with AMD's lineup of GPUs, especially going forward. I mean, these are just the mobile sets, but eventually they will make to the full-size desktop GPUs. AMD also announced the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 7 5700 APUs, which we have previously talked about in an episode a few weeks ago. But to summarize, they're CPUs with a beefier integrated graphics processor, which eliminates the need for dedicated GPUs on like lower end gaming PCs and just your standard browsing machines that so that's pretty much it from AMD. I believe the Ryzen APUs will be released on the 3rd. NVIDIA also announced the RTX 3080 Ti. So that's from NVIDIA's side. NVIDIA is pricing that at 3080 Ti at a cool $1,199. And NVIDIA plans to start selling the new card on June 3rd as well. The 3080 Ti makes an increase of VRAM from the base 3080, bringing it closer to the performance of the 3090. My hands are up in the air on if we will ever see this actually easily accessible until like 2022. Especially with how trends have previously been with cards, like scalping and reselling. Also, the hefty price tag of $1,200 does have me concerned on if it's an actual like a big enough increase from the base model to actually warrant paying $1,200 for. So that's the biggest from AMD and NVIDIA recently. Take with it what you will.
Yeah, you forgot to mention that that all the cards are already sold out. No one can get anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we'll see these easily accessible until 2022.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Plus, like it's just an increase of VRAM. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna spend over $1,000 for a GPU, you might as well go big and go for the 3090 because it's essentially double the VRAM of the 3080 Ti for like $300 extra bucks MSRP. So,
yeah.
Yup.
I have nothing to add.
It's fucking broke people like us. What are we supposed to do about that?
Can I get a sugar mama
right? It's like
buy
who's bummed do I have to finger to get a 3080 Ti around here? Like
who do I have to make out with? Is it that guy? I'll do it.
Who do you have to make out with to get any 3000 series RTX? Like
or a GPU at a reasonable price at all right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was on Newegg and I was looking at 1650s, just the standard 1650s, not the supers or TIs, and they the cheapest one I saw was $600, which is triple the actual MSRP. So, yeah.
Well, Green and I had the conversation of because I ordered my new CPU, And I had the conversation with him on Saturday, I think. I'm like, do I just bite the bullet? I sent him a GPU. I'm like, do I just bite the bullet? And he goes, well, it's way overpriced. I'm like, hence biting the bullet. I'm like,
I do not recommend biting the bullet for that card. I'm just saying.
I know.
You wouldn't just be biting the bullet. You'd be biting down and then still hitting the pin on the side. You know, like you're blowing your teeth out with that one, bud.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm at a little bit of a desperation point with it where I'm like, fuck, you know, but we did. I know we did come up with we had already come up with an agreement. For those who weren't in the live stream, Green will be lending me his 1660.
Yeah, 1660 Ti.
Yeah, so he'll be lending me his 1660 Ti until I get a graphics card for the new computer, and he'll be taking the R9 390 out of my PC to run his streams.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I run the stream basically all on my CPU anyways because it can handle it, so it's not that it's not hurting me whatsoever to switch. So
yeah, that was the agreement me and him came up with, but I was also just like already looking. So maybe while I'm waiting to buy a GPU, I'll buy an extra hard drive too, because evidently I can't have enough space. Never. Yeah, so that's some of the Intel and AMD news. We do have it is June, which usually June is big for gaming events, and last year was super crazy and hectic because of the pandemic. So I figured we would take some time to go over at least all the ones I could find for the month of June. How's that sound?
Sounds great to me.
Guys, let's get your calendars ready. Get your calendars. Get your pen. Get your pencils. Get an eraser. Let's start. So, of course, the big one is E3 2021. E3 is back this year. It was canceled last year. It starts on Saturday, June 12th, and will be ending on June 15th. It will be held entirely online with showcases, announcements, and gameplay footage available for anyone interested in watching. Should be available on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Some of the featured showcases this year is going to include the usual haunts of Ubisoft, Microsoft, Bethesda. It's weird to put them together this time. There's going to be the PC Gamers PC Gaming Show, Games Radar's Future Games Show, Square Enix, Nintendo are just a few to mention. So that is E3, June 12th to June 15th, which we will have an E3 predictions show next week, June 8th, and then we'll have an actual E3 post show on June 15th. Next on the list I have here is Indie Live Expo 2021, and that'll be starting on June 5th. It is a Japanese event, so it will have a different / early starting time for everyone out there. It'll start at 2 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. GMT. It will show over 300 games and titles on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Following that up, once again, June 5th, this is one that I think a lot of us are probably excited about. It's the Guerrilla Collective. They have two events, actually. Let me put this down. The first event, June 5th, and the second event is June 12th. This starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and you guys can catch that on Twitch. They also have a couple of shows that are in association with the Guerrilla Collective, such as the Black Voices in Gaming event, which will be on June 5th, starting at 10 a.m. This will focus on games from Black devs and will focus Black-centric stories, and you guys can catch that on Twitch. Also associated with the Guerrilla Collective is Wholesome Direct 2021, and will be that will be going on June 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. This will focus on slice of life, Sims, and just general posy vibes, and that'll be live on Twitter and YouTube. I'm gonna give you guys a quick second. You want to interject on any of those?
No, I'm excited to see what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they get everything kind of in better order this year. Like last year, they were trying to rush it and figure out what to do because the pandemic kind of, some of them were a little bit of a shit show, didn't kind of run the way they probably should have, and now they've had a year to kind of figure out how to better present them online. So I'm really excited to see where that goes and see where we end up.
Yeah, well, and it was also a bit of a Wild West because people have been eyeing E3 a lot over the last couple of years. Not a lot of people have been very happy with E3. I know a lot of journalists haven't been happy with E3, especially because the organization that runs E3 doxed everybody. Also, real quick, I just want to say nobody should blame Sophia Narwitz for that situation. She told the E3 organizers what was wrong, and then after they refused to do nothing, said that there was something wrong and that they refused to do something. Nobody should be angry with her. That's a weird thing I've seen. Like, people blame and say Sophia Narwitz doxed the industry, and she didn't. She warned everyone that there was an issue. So maybe don't say that. But I know why people say that, because they just don't like Sophia. I mean, that's a pretty well-known fact that the vast majority of gaming journalists just don't like Sophia. But that's beside the point. So next is the Summer Games Fest 2021 kickoff that's presented by Prime Gaming. That is June 10th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a digital series of events doing reveal trailers, gameplay demos, and more throughout the summer, but the kickoff event is June 10th. Next on the list is the IGN Expo, June 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, available on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. This one is dev specific. This is I think this is the KOCH Coke Prime Time, or is it
I want to say Coach.
And
almost, I don't know. I don't like when people spout stuff like that, because it's very ambiguous on how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
I want to say
Coach. I'm gonna go Coke.
I gotta go cock.
Go cock. What's that?
It's KOCH. Is
yeah, but that's how.
Well, Heckler and Coach pronounces it that way, and it's spelled the same, right? The gun manufacturer.
Well, that's Heckler and Co.
I've heard it. I've always heard it Heckler and Coach.
I've also heard that Heckler and Koch. I'm going Coke.
The Koch brothers.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the Koch brothers.
See, I've always heard it pronounced the Koch brothers. That's it. We're splitting the difference. It's just cock.
Anyways, KOCH.
Reach out to him and be like, hey, nice cock.
Nice cock. This is the company that owns Metro, Saints Row, and a couple other IPs. They'll be running their own live stream June 11th and 12th at 7 p.m. GMT Greenwich Mean Time. Next on my list is I have Steam Next Festival. Not exactly like a big showcase, but it will be starting June 16th, runs until June 22nd. Will feature lots of demos, streams with devs on the Steam platform, and other content that'll also be shown on YouTube. The last one I have on my list is Devolver, which will be June 12th with no specific time yet. I'm hoping.
I hope they do the same thing they did last year, bro.
I was just going to say that. I want a sequel to Devolverland.
Devolverland 2? Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I want Devolverland 2. Devolver always does wacky shit. So I'm just like, yeah, of course there's no specified time, because what they're going to actually do, it's going to be like a rollout where they just roll armies and tanks through the streets of the country, but everything is, got TV screens on it. And that's how you're going to experience it. It's just like a rolling army through the fucking streets. I mean, it sounds on brand for them.
Yeah.
I do want to add, it's not technically a gaming event, but since we're talking about dates, Battlefield's release trailer is dropping June 9th at 4 p.m. EST.
That's such a weirdly specific announcement for a game that only 6 people are going to play.
Get out of here. Battlefield is fantastic.
Fucking shots fired. Holy cow.
Not that many. Only 6 people are playing it. They can't shoot that many shots. 5 if you don't count Green.
Ow. Battlefield was such a great franchise. Get out of
Was.
here.
You
They're
said
going back
was.
to Battlefield 3 and 4. So
So they have to go back to make it good again. Gotcha.
yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
They never should have done Battlefield 1 and 5. I said it.
Wow.
I said it.
There's-
I don't like period shooters, so
You know, every shooter is a period shooter if you think about it.
you know, technicality is in pish posh applesauce, crisscross. I don't. Shh.
You okay there, bud?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm having a mild stroke.
Are you okay?
I smell toast.
You smell toast. Rev, when we were talking before the show, there was one that you mentioned, and I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, this one's not necessarily going to be in June. The registration deadline is in June, but they did announce an indie horror specific convention, and they did it with such an immaculately made trailer. There's this deal called Haunted PS1 where it's like a whole bunch of indie devs and stuff that get together and make things that are like that PSX aesthetic kind of horror. And they announced what they call EEK 3, EEK 3, which I thought was just the cleverest of clever. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit later this year. But the announcement trailer got dropped today, and it looks like it's going to be really cool. And indie horror is really on the rise, so I'm excited for it. Indie horror is kind of like indie horror has just essentially taken over itch.io. Like you get on itch.io and just look at any page, it's like 85% horror anymore. So it's really interesting to see. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get like a surprise because actually Haunted PS1, a lot of the devs that are involved in Haunted PS1 work on the Dread X collections as well. Hell, the social media manager for Haunted PS1 actually made the diving bell on Dread X 2, and there's a lot of them that are involved in it. So I'm hoping that maybe we get like a surprise drop that maybe a new Dread X is coming, because Dread X The Hunt was so good. I can't wait to see what's coming up. So that was just the announcement that was made today, is that it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in June, but I thought it was still pretty cool.
Yeah. I can't think of any others. I will just say, towards the end of the summer, me and Green will probably be at 2DCon in Minneapolis. If anyone wants to come say hi to us while we're there.
Nice.
I say probably because we haven't gotten our Airbnb yet because we've both been neglecting to do it. And then
I don't know if I like your attitude though. Like,
oh, you don't want to spend a weekend with me?
I would love to spend a weekend with you. I'm going to spend a weekend with you. It's not if we're going, it's we're going. And if you
How
guys
much
are going
is it
to
going to
TiddlyCon,
cost?
we'll see you.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the price for love?
A lot cheaper if you just book your fucking Airbnb, my guy.
Well, it's both of us. We've been squabbling on locations and which ones.
Yeah, and how many people are going, and et cetera, how we getting there, how we getting back.
Yeah, all the
Road
squabbling
trip stuff.
Yeah. And then there will be an Iowa or Midwest creators meetup coming in July. I am still working on that. I just wanted to. Yep. So I just wanted to get those two things out there too while we're talking about events for the summer. Since we got all the events of the month, you guys want to talk about the deals of the month?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
But before we do, I want to. So first off, real quick, I dropped the ball on something. As a matter of fact, I dropped 3 of them because I said I was going to let you know where this 3-testicled salmon was going to actually play a part in this show. The 3-testicled salmon is the staple food of the village in 9 Witches Family Disruption. So that's why I dropped the balls about it. I was like, hey, yeah, this is going to play a part in the show somehow. And then I went through the whole game and then looked down at my drawing and went, fuck. So I figured I'd throw that back in there. So, all right.
I'm glad that you brought that back up.
Sorry if I seem a little testy. I just am upset that I forgot and dropped the balls on that.
Boo. Boo.
Wendy Testerberger.
All right, so deals of the month, starting with Twitch Prime. Of course, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Twitch gaming. You can attach your Twitch account to your Prime account and get free games with Prime Gaming. You also get a free monthly sub. Go use it on my friends. They'll appreciate it. You guys can also, so the games you can claim, Frog Climbers, you can get that. It started on May 27th. You can get that through June 25th. Mana Spark, you can get that through June 18th. Bomb Slinger, you can get that through June 11th. So maybe get that one sooner than later. You can also get the Fairway Director's Cut June 4th. And I will also mention, if you have Amazon Prime, Prime Day is coming up this week. So if there was anything that you're waiting to get or wanting to get, go ahead and get it now. Like for me, I might be, looking for an SSD, a new SSD. So yeah, that's Prime Gaming. Next is Humble Bundle. Of course, we are Humble Bundle affiliates, as we mentioned earlier. If you guys want to help support the show, go on ahead and use our link, and we will get a portion of that purchase. Full disclosure, we are Humble Bundle affiliates. There is the Rising Storm 2 Vietnam bundle. You get Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. You get Red Orchestra 2. You get 75% off Killing Floor 2, which I'll be honest, they just need to give that game away for free. There's no reason they should even be selling it anymore because they don't fucking update it. Sorry, not sorry, Tripwire. You have had the game out since 2015 and only have added 2 new bosses since its release and barely any weapons. What? Yeah, you've added maps, but like barely any other content.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said it before. I'm like, you should not buy Killing Floor 2 for full price at this point. They need to do like some major fucking work. There is a Guilty Gear bundle for on Humble Bundle as well. If you pay $10 or more, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, all Guilty Gear games. I'm trying to find any other bundles real quick. Oh, there is a Konami bundle right now, but that literally ends in 17 hours. Best of Bandai. I'm sorry, did I say Konami? I meant Bandai Namco. Where if you pay $20, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games.
One of those is Tekken 7.
True, one of those.
Tekken 7's good.
Katamari Damacy reroll is there as well.
Oh,
Is that the one where you're like the? Is that the one where you're like the ball and you just like roll over shit?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Little Nightmares Complete Edition is on that as well.
Oh, I'm assuming that includes the DLC.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said Code Vein, right?
Yeah, Code Vein.
Yep.
Yeah, that's animated game, isn't it?
Anime
I think we
Souls.
talked about that. Yeah,
Dark
I think we
Souls
talked
anime.
about that last week with Brotaku.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we mentioned it. Yeah.
I think someone might have mentioned it. Yeah.
I think Henry might have mentioned it.
They were doing really cool Code Vein stuff at TwitchCon in 2019, where if you went and donated blood, you got some like cool shit to go with the game.
Nice.
I didn't do it because I didn't play the game. I was like, nah, I'll give blood later when I am not filled with alcohol and caffeine.
Well, no, if you're filled with alcohol, that just means it's easier to get out.
Yeah, but if it's filled with caffeine, it's easier for my veins to bust too. It'll be Code Vein busted,
Your Code Vein promo will turn into a Code Blue.
Oh yeah.
So moving from Humble Bundle to Epic, which of course Rev is a is an Epic Games affiliate. Use code RevsFan to help support the show. They are currently having their mega sale that it lasts until June 17th. Again, if any of the purchases you make there on the Epic mega sale, use code RevsFan to help support him. Right now, Among Us is currently free until June 3rd, and there are rumors that Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 20-year celebration, will be coming free starting June 3rd. So Among Us ends June 3rd. Tomb Raider allegedly comes June 3rd.
Allegedly.
I did check out GOG, and currently they have a head-up publisher sale. Titles up to 90% off, including Bridge Constructor, and Kingdom Under Fire series, and a few other games. But that's on GOG, Good Old Games. Green,
GOG.
what you got?
So for Sony PlayStation Plus members, they are still doing the three games. PlayStation 5 is getting Operation Tango, which is a cooperative spy adventures with their marketing it is. And then for PS4, you get Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown and Star Wars Squadrons, which I've seen a few people play the Star Wars Squadrons. That's actually a pretty good pickup. I mean, it's Star Wars dogfights in space. So say that 5 times fast with all those S's. But yeah, those are the 3 games. Star Wars is probably the biggest one on there, and that's always a good pickup for Star Wars. I like Star Wars. So
Rev.
Xbox. Kind of a letdown this month. Okay, so Xbox's Games with Gold. You get The King's Bird from June 1st to the 30th. You get Shadows Awakening from June 16th to July 15th, and then which are both Xbox One games. And then you get the Xbox 360 games, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum from June 1st to the 15th, and Injustice Gods Among Us from the 16th to the 30th. Game Pass, really kind of lackluster this time around, but there are some other like little perks with Game Pass that you get that I kind of missed when I was reading through this the first time. Available as of now, you can get a little indie game called The Wild at Heart. That's only coming to cloud available today. It may already be available on others. For Honor is coming to cloud console on the 3rd. Backbone is coming to PC on the 8th. Backbone actually looks like one that I've been it's one that I've been keeping my eye on for a while. And then Darkest Dungeons coming to cloud console and PC on June 10th. There are also some game updates that are going to be coming for Game Pass, including Black Desert, Gears 5 Pride 2021 rewards punch cards. So you can, until June 30th, you can actually get some Pride-based things in Gears 5, which I thought was kind of cool. Some updates to Human Fall Flat. Knockout City Season 1 is actually available on Game Pass PC, which, I mean, if you can get, Knockout City Season 1, that's pretty cool. Then there's some Minecraft updates, and Elder Scroll Online Blackwood will be coming out on the 8th. And then if you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is the one that's both, you actually get a Knockout City Charm for Apex Legends starting on June 3rd. Super Animal Royale is getting a Founders Edition pack, and Dirt 5 is getting a Power Your Memes pack. But the real big news coming out of Xbox at all this month, in my personal opinion, is developer Don't Not Entertainment got together with publisher Xbox Game Studios to produce a game, I believe last year, called Tell Me Why, which I called Life is Strange 2.5 because it's very Life is Strange heavy. It's a Don't Not Entertainment game. It follows a set of twins that are psychically linked, and they were both born biologically female, but the primary protagonist of the game is Tyler, one of the twins, who is a transgender male, and it follows like his struggles coming back to his kind of conservative home in Alaska after a tragedy befell their family at a very young age. And yeah, so that's going to be available for free all month on. Oh, hold on, I got a train coming. Damn, Ricky, you haven't fucking interrupted the show in a long time. But yeah, it's gonna be available for free all month long on Xbox, just in general on Xbox, or the Microsoft Store on PC, and also on Steam. So anywhere that you can actually find the game, it's going to be available for free, which I thought was a really cool thing. And Don't Not Entertainment, and I believe Xbox Game Studios got together to actually put together this really interesting behind the scenes thing that you can find on the Tell Me Why's official Twitter page on the actual creation of the character of Tyler, and the consulting they did to actually be able to create the character properly. So it's really intriguing. I thought it was a really cool kind of opening to Pride Month in in regards to gaming. So yeah, tell me why. Especially if you like the Life is Strange franchise, it's free. Pick it up.
Excellent. So I think that's it for the deals of the month. Anything else we want to mention before we wrap up the show?
Oh, that is all from me.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
All right, Green. Tell the folks out there what's coming up on your channel this week.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna be playing some more Destiny. I've been putting a lot of content on TikTok for Destiny. So I'm hoping that really shines through. If I'm not playing Destiny, I'll probably be playing some Apex. I'm gonna try not to play Warzone. I've played a little bit today, and it's just. But you can catch me on twitch.tv/Mr. Greenlee. Everything else, socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, Mr. Greenlee. You can catch me there. I appreciate you. I love you.
Padre, what's coming up on yours?
My schedule is going to be a little scattered this week because Nikki, my wife, is actually doing crafts for a festival. So I'm going to be helping her set up shop and get that taken care of as much as possible, and then watching the kids on the side. But at first opportunity, I'm going to continue Nine Witches. I really want to finish that game. It's really good. And then I'm also going to continue Mayhem in Single Valley, which is a new game published by Tiny Build that I started last week, I believe, and I'm really into it. I just haven't got to play enough of it to really feel comfortable covering it on the show yet. So I would really like to be able to talk about that next week. Aside from that, I'm going to be putting out some more YouTube content. As I am a YouTube partner now, I need to really kind of start focusing more on YouTube. I'm going to be putting out more like short horror games. So if you like to watch people get scared and piss their pants, you can find me on YouTube at RevSven, along with on Twitch at RevSven. And then you can find me literally on any socials, even MySpace, at RevSven TV.
Damn, even MySpace.
Yeah, it's dead. It's not active, but it's there.
My channel. Let's see. Friday, I'm gonna try to finish up BioShock 2. I think we're right around halfway with it. Then Saturday night, because I just recently hit 600 followers on Twitch, we're going to do a special stream with my dad. I bought him Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm going to kick his ass in Ages while you guys get to ask questions about what it was like having me as a kid.
I cannot wait for some Daddy K content.
Don't call him that. Stop calling my dad Daddy K. That is not a thing. It's Papa Danny.
It's too late.
So
the seed has been planted.
So that'll be happening Saturday. And then that following Sunday, I'm not sure, probably go play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or something like that. I've been really enjoying doing that on Sundays. It's chill. It's fun to just like hang out and talk to people and like try to come up with stupid ass decks. It's a blast. So come on and join me Sunday for some Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So again, BioShock Friday, Age of Empires Definitive Edition with my dad on Tuesday, and I'm sure if you guys have Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, again, Definitive Edition, you know, the newest version of the game, you guys can probably join us. We'll probably be more than welcome to have people join us, and then Sunday we'll have just Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links on the channel. Other than that, you guys can find me on Twitter at DannyK, DANIECAE. You can also find me on Instagram under that same name. You can also find me on TikTok and YouTube at Danny K Media. And yeah, that's all I've got right now for my channel. That's going to wrap up the show for the week. We appreciate you guys for joining us. It means a lot to us that you guys take the time and watch and listen every week. Don't forget to answer the question of the week, which is, what is your favorite horror subgenre? If you missed any part of the show, you guys can watch and listen on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you guys are catching us on those platforms and you guys want to join us live, we are live on Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you guys want to help support the show, there's a couple ways you guys can do it, like leaving a like, subscribing, and leaving a comment. But the best way, top tier way, is by telling your friends and telling your mom and telling your dad and telling your dog, tell your pastor
probably don't tell your pastor. You'll get kicked out the church. I'll make sure of it.
But yeah, tell your friends about the show. Word of mouth, it really does help us out a lot. So please do tell your friends and retweet us and stuff like that. Other than that, guys, happy Pride. Have a safe week. Enjoy the weather. Keep fighting the good fight, and we'll talk to you guys again next week. Goodbye.
Kisses.
Love you.
Mwah.